Here we go again. Paul George underwent an arthroscopic knee surgery today after getting injured during a recent workout. I'm Coy Camiscioli, Philly Sports Talk here. I'm here to talk about, your annual Sixers dumb news, and it just continues. So let's get right into it. A source familiar with the injury said that this is basically just an arthroscopic cleanup, and it did not involve injuring any of the other major ligaments, so ACL, MCL, PCL, anything else you can really think of, patellar, meniscus. So that is some good news, but it's definitely concerning. And the funny thing about this whole surgery is it was kept such under wraps. I mean, I understand the workout was recent. That's the news that we got, but I love how we didn't find out about it until after the surgery happened, and it's just the most Sixers news you could possibly think of. So PG will rehab and will be reevaluated at the start of training camp in 2.5 months. This is the same surgeon that did Joel Embiid's procedure, so surely this will go well. I mean, the signs weren't there, I guess you could say. But listen, I'm not gonna be a pessimistic Sixers fan on this podcast. I've been openly praising them recently, but this team really does feel beyond cursed. And the way I found out, it's quite funny. I had a baseball game tonight, and once the game ended, I got in my car. I was scrolling around on my phone, going to Instagram, and I see a Shams Charania post, breaking news, and Paul George is on the photo. I'm like, damn, we traded PG. I'm like, I wonder what we got. And then I see that it's an injury and then a surgery. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just like, the news, it's just never ending with this team sometimes. But it is what it is. You know, at this point, it's pretty much set in stone that, like, why would anybody trade for Paul George? Even if they're trying to unload an even bigger contract on us, which you can't get much bigger since George was a max. Um, I still have hope for the team, and I still have hope for PG as well. If this really is just an arthroscopic cleanup, maybe it's not that bad, and he'll be fine. He's going to be rehabbing for a good amount of time, but there's no reason that anybody would want to take a risk on Paul George right now, especially with his injuries from last season and now this. It's set in stone. He'll probably be returning for the Sixers this year. And again, I still have faith in this team. This isn't the end of the world. This is just something, mid-off season, we'll talk about it and break it down what's going on. Again, if it's truly just a cleanup, then I really don't think there's much to worry about. That's what they said. So hopefully nothing bad is happening. But, these things could maybe linger. Obviously, it's going to be reevaluated right before training camp. Hopefully, he doesn't re aggravate his injury when he does get reevaluated close to training camp, because the last thing we need is going into next season injured like we did this past year. We need guys healthy and ready to go this season. So I still believe in this team. I'm asking you guys to as well. This is the deepest roster we've had, I think, that I've ever seen in the past 10 or so years, especially if we re-sign Quentin Grimes, and I imagine that's going to get done soon, but who knows what happens to that. The East is still wide open. If it wasn't as wide open as it was, I would probably not be believing at all. But you just got to consider the Bucks and Celtics are pretty much at rock bottom right now. The Bucks obviously losing Damian Lillard. He tears his Achilles. They have to waive him, and their team is just in purgatory now to what's going on. And the Celtics, Jason Tatum tears his Achilles. They get screwed by the second apron new CBA rules. They have to trade Kristaps, Drew Holiday. And the Pacers, they're without Tyrese Halliburton for a full season, and they just lost Miles Turner. So you're taking away three of the biggest competitors in the Eastern Conference. I know the Bucks have been a little meh last couple of years, but they're still a competitor. And right now, you're looking around at the Cavaliers and the Knicks, like, let's go. What's going to happen here? So it's still wide open for the Sixers. We just need to depend on Joel Embiid and Paul George to be healthy, and hopefully things go right. But that has proven in years past that is not going to happen. But again, all I'm asking is for you guys to believe in this team. I do. It's a deep roster. VJ Edgecombe is the truth. I like him. I like this entire team. I think there's a lot of good things to come. So, other than that, nothing really new. Sixers news, some Summer League games. I don't really have many thoughts on them. Obviously, Justin Edwards hasn't been played to the caliber that we would like to, but I'm not concerned over it. Janai Broom, I really like his ability to shoot the three-point ball. It's looking pretty good. He was a below average three-point shooter in college, and he's looking pretty good. Shooting the three in the Summer League so far, and that could stretch the floor a little bit, especially due to his lack of athleticism a little bit. So I like it. Other than that, I really have nothing else for you guys on the Sixers. So more Sixers pods to come when more news comes out, and I have to imagine the next one might be the Quentin Grimes extension, so we'll see. But it is said that the Sixers are pretty much looking like we're done this off season. I know guys like Chris Boucher are still out there for potential power forward spots, but I don't see us budging at any time soon. That's just unlikely that a trade will get done. But yeah, that'll do it. Thank you guys for listening.